Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the gym. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully, you're having a nice start to your day. Wow, it's game time. Gonna play some new decks from Lost Origin, as we do here. Man, I can't wait to get back to my normal schedule. Yeah, can't wait. I'm a little homesick, not gonna lie. Thank you, Outlaw Janitor, for the tier 1 sub in the 9 months, and Shrot Kit Leet for the prime sub in the 10 months. Yes. Oh no, unsafe, starting my morning with a series of small fires. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, you brought the hose so you can put them out. Things are going well here, but I am definitely anxious to be home and anxious to get back to my studio and anxious to get back to my normal day in, day out routine. Yeah, it's a long time. This is a long time for me to be away, honestly. I don't know that I've been away from home for this long in like a long time. Thank you, BTC, for the tier 1 sub and the 2 years. Appreciate you. And thank you, Phantom Panda, for that prime sub in the 10 months. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been on vacations, but the thing about vacations is that usually I'm with family or something, right? So when you're on vacation, you could be like away from home, but you have some at home with you because maybe your family's with you or something like that. But the closest point of comparison that I have for this is that, also I'm doing a lot of work, yeah. Mm-hmm. The closest point of comparison that I have for this is that I am, is like going away to college, honestly. Yeah, thank you. Soldier, appreciate you. Yeah, like going away to college. Man, when I first went away to college, I was homesick. I was like down horrendous for sure. Because I was going away to school, I grew up outside Baltimore, and then I was going to school in northwestern Pennsylvania. So, it was 6 hours away. I had a long distance relationship that I was trying to hold on to. Man, it was... Yeah, I was down horrendous for sure. So, it was like I was leaving everything. Yeah, soldier. See, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's got to be tough. I can only imagine. But yeah, that was I was ill, man. I was ill. I mean, having to make entirely new friends. I mean, basically, you're uprooting your life and you're going to just do something different. Now, obviously, that was a really good experience for me because it got me out of my, it got me out of my little corner of the world that I thought I knew and got me to experience and learn new things, which was great. But I'm past that. I'm past that point in my life, and now I'm just homesick again. And it's like, all right, that's fine. And I'm doing a lot of work, and it's stressful. It's really, it's really stretching me. That's for sure. It's definitely stretching me. Yeah. Wow. Unsafe. Also spent your first year married in Afghanistan. That's tough. Yeah. I mean, Props to you guys. That is really tough. I've done distance before. It is tough. Real tough. Spending time away from your loved ones, your family. Yes, exactly. But yeah, it's tough, but it's fine. It's all going to be worth it in the end. It will. Thank you, Sky Warrior, for that tier 1 sub in the 10 months. Appreciate you, Sky Warrior. Yeah, Kyurem seems better than Ice Rider. At least that's what like the general kind of thought is right now. Yeah, this deck seems broken. Let's play it. Is it dong time? Is it time to whip out the dong? Is it time, guys? All right. Looks like I'm playing against maybe Mewtwo v Union. I don't know. You see a Snorlax. It's usually the thought is that it is the Mewtwo v Union deck, but I don't know. Is Galar mine? Like, what is this? Who knows? We got some stuff going on though, so it's cool. I'm just gonna go get Bidoof, and we'll pop this fella out, and I'll pass. I don't know if they're playing like a, yeah, it might be a stall deck, might be Durant. If it's Durant, I'm probably just losing to this deck. Nope, it's Mewtwo v Union. All right, so Mewtwo v Union has got 310 HP. Yeah, I cannot defeat that card, so we just will scoop it up. All right, fine. But Andrew, what do you do about a single Miltank? I lose. All right. Yeah, we don't have a way to... And even if you play basic Psychic Energy, the deck doesn't have a way to beat... you know, because they will never put enough bench Pokemon in play for you to... you know, for you to be able to knock out. So the way to beat Miltank, if you want to beat Miltank, the way to beat Miltank is that you have to play a canceling clone, right? Like 1 or 2 of these, and then you'd have to like take out a Trekking Shoes, and then if you wanted to, you could even play a Silene, if you wanted to, right? And then that's like it kind of plays a double role because you could put things like Choice Belt back on top of your deck. You could put things like a Double Turbo Energy back on top of your deck, and you put the Canceling Cologne back on top of your deck. So that's kind of like what you do. If you're extremely worried about the thing about damage pump is like, no, you don't need 4, but you need to see it, is the thing. You will lose if you're not... This deck needs to attack turn 2 every single game, right? If you're not like doing it turn 2, like what are you doing? So... you just need to see it. If this deck could play something like Trainer's Mail, then like I wouldn't be so inclined to play 4, but it's not really a searchable card. But whatever. Yeah, if you want to, like, you know, you can cheat on those cards. You can, but the thing is, you're just going to be less consistent. Yeah, sure. You could take those out. You could. But you're going to be less consistent, right? You'll get the turn 2 attack less than this list will. And that's like the whole point of the deck. How much do you need the stadium? I don't know. How much do you like getting the turn 2 attack? It's like... Yeah, I guess you probably... There are like diminishing returns on maybe the 4th copy of either of these, but it's tough when... Like, literally, without these cards, you are doing 0 damage. Like, none. So, like, that's the thing. All right, so say you play 3 and you prize 1, and you're just, like, not seeing it. Or you play 3 and you prize 1, and then you just can't find your damage pump, and I'm doing, like, 150 damage. It's not enough, right? So, the reason why there's 4 is for visibility. What about 4 Gengar? The thing is, you just don't want your board to be 4 Gengar. You want your board to be good cards. Gengar is not like... Gengar is cool, but I think an ideal board has 2 Gengar. So that when you get Averied, then you just put them back. All right, you guys ready to play with the dong? How does the Radiant Charizard fit into Zoroark instead of Hawlucha? I don't think it does. Why would you play Radiant Charizard in the Zoroark deck? There are no basic energy in this deck. And, like, why do you need it? Yeah, the Zoroark deck is great at doing what it does. Isn't Choice Belt good enough without Hawlucha? Not necessarily. What about a Mew VMAX with a... what about Mew VMAX with Oricorio in play? What about the new Kyurem VMAX? What about all that? Yeah. So you need to be able to hit 330. Right. Yeah, you got it, Stevie. I would say Mew with Oricorio and yeah, and the Kyurem V. Those are like the 2 big ones that you're kind of thinking about. All right, so Dugong has got its flow return. You shuffle any amount of water energy from your Pokemon into your deck. This attack does 40 damage for each card you shuffled in this way. And then you get to play it with, you know, the fish. What's the fish's name? It's Finian. There we go. Phineas. Do you want to know what the messed up thing? You want to know what the messed up thing is about what I just had to do? Pokemon V have ruined evolution. I don't even know who evolves into Lumineon because all I know is Lumineon because of Pokemon V. That's the messed up thing. It's messed up, man. It's messed up. Anyways. It's got me messed up, man. This deck, the Dong deck, definitely Definitely is like a min rarity deck for sure. Gotta be. All right, you're gonna need to draw like a lot of. You definitely want your Eldegoss in here. So like your yeah, Eldegoss. Yeah, this deck's gonna be Bananas and then Gossifleur. Call for Family. Broken. Yeah, you could play Lady. I don't know. I feel like Eldegoss is just good, right? You need Manaphy. A bunch of Bibarel and no Eldegoss. Yeah, Bibarel is probably a better use of space, but then we'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. I'm not sure that you need Lady if you just play buckets, right? And then you put the energy back into the deck. Very good. Bibarel is just a very good card. Drawing cards is good. Cool. Oh, we need like Ultra Balls. Yep. Okay. For Gordy? We'll probably play a bucket. We're just not quite there yet. Probably wants like a rod, maybe like a rod and a carrier or 2 rods, but probably just 2 rods. I feel like you don't want more than 2 Finneon. Just like don't prize them both. 2 is probably good. If we're playing Bibarel, then you want Quick Balls and Ultra Balls. The thing is, we're just going to play against some Jokester with Empoleon, so you got to play Path. You got to play like Path or Rope, right? You could play Irida. Certainly could. But like, I don't see really why you'd need to play Irida. If you could just draw. You just want to draw lots of cards. Because like Irida in the late game, you're going to be like, what am I doing with an Irida? I'm trying to get 10 water energy. So you're like, you'd be better off drawing cards. Yo, Stevie, I appreciate it, but I'm really just not trying to copy exactly what Azul's done, right? Because like, I understand that other people have done it, but like, why would I just copy exactly what another content creator has done, right? If that, I could just go watch his video then. Like, what's the point, you know? I would like to not look so that then I can, like, at least, if we come to the same conclusion, then fine, right? But, like, I'd rather not look, if that makes sense. You understand what I'm saying? Because then maybe we at least have some originality between the two of our, two of our lists. Nah, it's not just because of different play. I mean, really, but like a lot of the content comes from like the lists. Of course, we're different players, but like, why would I just copy Azul's list and then try to make a video out of that? Like, it's not. The deck building, I'd say, is like over 50% of it. The playing is like any player can play a list. That's fine. But like the deck building and the concepts and all this part of the content right here. I'm not struggling to build the deck. I'm having fun building the deck, right? This is part of the fun. Thank you, Brett, for the Prime sub and the 9 months. Yeah, I already have paths right here. There you go, Jay. Of course. Mantang, any plans on making a turn 1 win game soon? No, because those kinds of decks are toxic. I made one a while ago for expanded format, and yeah, you could go watch that one. Yeah, no, other than that, I don't really plan on doing that anymore. We don't have a Radiant Pokemon. You could play Radiant Greninja if you wanted to, but like you don't really want to discard the energy. You just want to put it into play. You need to spring your Dugongs into play as quickly as possible so that you can actually accelerate energy onto them. I feel like 2 or 3 level balls, like, well, level ball is like probably better than quick ball, honestly, because level ball gets all of our basics and it searches for free. So the path does turn off the Radiant Pokemon, so we're probably not looking at a Radiant. Yes, I like the idea of Hisuian Heavy Ball, especially since we're only playing 2 Finneon. That's just another basic search turn 1, so I don't hate that. It could also get your Manaphy, so that's pretty good. And then you probably want some air balloons. And then we'll kind of see which one we're feeling more, Cynthia or Bruno. They're both pretty good, but we'll suss it out. I agree. I was between either Second Rod or Rescue Carrier, and I think it's Second Rod is the one that I'm kind of coming to. And then you're going to want Boss's Orders too. But I guess, like, do you want Boss's Orders? Because this deck constantly puts its energy back in. So you're, like, having to... You're, like, having to really draw... Every turn you have to draw a lot of cards. So you're probably not going to have too many options to play Boss's Orders. So what you could do is you could play Lapras. Yeah, you could just finish up. Yeah, you could play Lapras, bro. Oh, you can't excel. That's right. Never mind. I take it back. But it was a cool idea if you could. It would have been neat. All right, so you need like 10 energy to hit 400. You don't need to hit 400 though. You only need to hit like 8 will get you 32. So 8 is like the number. What about Kingdra? Nah, we're just doing the Dugong for sure. That's doing too much. Don't need Battle VIP. Especially since turn 1 you only need a couple of Seal. I think that we want buckets or like... Got to retreat 1. This guy's got to retreat 2. Probably want a couple of ropes are like probably okay. Could also get you around. I think you'll find that we don't have as much energy in the discard pile as you might think. Because we put it all back into the deck. So you're not going to be discarding too many energy at all. Every once in a while you'll discard 1, but your deck is going to be mostly water energy. That's what I'm saying. Almost no energy is going to end up in the discard pile. The 2 rods are good. Our supporter count's okay. Probably want like just turbo max out consistency. We've already got the 2 rods, so we're chilling there. 2 air balloon, 2 escape rope is like more than enough switch cards. And no gust feels kind of bad. I like the idea. I think an Eldegoss could be cool, man. Just a thin Eldegoss line. Yeah, just like a 1/1, man. Yeah, help you hit them extra numbers, you know. Eldegoss and Gossifleur. And then also Gossifleur can get you I'm telling you, it's going to be dope. All right, so what's your ideal bench? You could have 1 Bibarel, 1 Eldegoss, 1 Finian, 2 Seal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you could have Manaphy as 6. Or you could have 2 Bibarel. That's pretty good. But I do like with the increased switch outs, you could go into Eldegoss pretty easily. That's nice. Well, I think with the Eldegoss, you don't need the buckets as much. But I guess you could just play buckets instead of Eldegoss, and then you kind of have more bench space. You're not as weak to Avery. And by the end of the game, you know, you're just your deck is like mostly water energy. It's pretty good. The Gust Apple guy? Bro. Man, I got 62 cards in this deck. Does it look like a trekking shoe deck? I gotta trim, baby. I gotta trim. Yeah, we gotta create space. Oh, can you guys not see the deck count? That's right, my camera's in the way. Yeah, 62 cards. I forgot you guys can't see that. You got it, Al. Cut the bad cards. You're right, Kyle. You're right. That's what we're about to do. You only need 8 energy to one-hit KO things. Could probably get away with, like... We could say all the balls are... Just 3. 3 is the magic number after all. 3 quick ball, 3 ultra ball, 3 level ball, 3 incense. That's fine. All right. Send it. Three, 6, 9. 12, 15, 18. 21, 24, 27, 30. Yeah, we just need 3 heavy ball now. Yeah, you need a couple of paths so you can beat Empoleon. And then we also have ropes to get around Empoleon. So we've got some options. First match against Cramorant, and we're going to lose, right? Yeah, it can't beat Cramorant with this deck. It's not enough basics. We should play like... Oh, lordy. Hey, just need more basics than that, huh? So Evolution Incense, stinky card, man. No. Yeah, GG's. Yep. We need more basics. You could play like a... You could play a Hisuian Basculin in here. You know, which could gather the crew. It's a better opening hand for sure. Let's see what I'm up against. Giratina. We can beat this. Been seeing a lot of Giratina V-Star decks playing Capture Energy and Water Energy. So they can attack with Radiant Greninja. Capture Energy to go get your dudes early. Makes sense. We should be able to have a pretty good matchup against Giratina. Because we don't really care about anybody doing 280 damage. Yeah, we just don't care. Because our dude's only got 120 hit points. So what's it matter? It do not matter. So they're going to be able to set up Giratina pretty easily. But I should trade favorably with the Tina deck. So I will quick ball away just the research, fine. And we really just want to go straight for a seal. I can put a water energy on it. Bench the Manaphy. And research. And then can check our prizes. We find another seal. Perfect. And then I'm expecting that, yes, we want our seal to live, so we'll go here. And then we'll see what they've got. They're going to have 4 cards in the Lost Zone. They need 7 in the Lost Zone in order to be able to use their Mirage Gate. So we'll see if they can get that going. 4 cards in the Lost Zone now. I've got Bibarel, Dugong, and Cynthia's Ambition. They're playing Banette. Very cool. To get supporters back. And it can go for another flower selecting to get a 5th card into the Lost Zone. And they send to Training Courts, which is fine. We've got Cynthia's Ambition, Bibarel. If they don't take a knockout, they will. Okay, they've got Cramorant, which is cool because that's like an easy knockout for me. I don't have Phineas in play right now, so I can't detach all of my energy, so I'm going to need to go find one. But that's okay. We've got Bruno. Okay. Well, let's see what we get with Industrious Incisors. And I can Cynthia's Ambition for 4, saying if I find a Finneon, then I'm good. Or I can Bruno for 7 new ones. I think I'll Bruno. Because we needed more than just, yeah, and we did hit it all off the Bruno. We did need more than just a Finneon. We also needed to find a backup seal, and we got them both, so it's really good. And we needed a water energy, so I needed like a 3-card combo there in order to make it all work. So we got the seal, we got the Finneon, and then I can use Oceanic Accompaniment to get that 3rd energy on there, and we'll flow return for 3 big ones and do our 120 damage to knock out the Cramorant. I have to say, yeah, we don't trade amazing with. I don't feel like there's any reason to put the balloon onto the Bibarel. We've already seen that they do play Lost Vacuum. I mean, they could play 2. Probably not, but they could. And the Giratina decks don't tend to play a lot of hand disruption, so there's really no reason to just slap that down, right? They usually just play, like, Colress. So you know if you're... Right, they play Boss of X, so here we are, right? They're knocking out the Bibarel, so that's why I didn't put the air balloon there. Which is fine, though, because it means that they're knocking out my Bibarel, and I get to keep my Dugong. And that means I can use Oceanic Accompaniments. And we'll put the air balloon onto the Manaphy and research for 7 cards, looking for some energy. And we find bucket. And this should be enough for a knockout. We Oceanic Accompaniment. And I don't know, what's 4 times 6? 24? Yeah. And we've returned the flow. That's GG's. Let's take a look again. Thank you, Exmo Kenda, for the Prime sub, and Murtog for the 18 months. Thank you, guys. Exmo with the 11 months. Thank you. Thank you. Huh. Yeah, that's fine. I felt like you may want like a Basculin in here. Just to help get your guys out early, because like the opening turns of the game are literally everything in the Pokemon TCG right now. So to gather the crew. Add a card, start a card, we'll see. Well, it's going to be useful. That's what I'm saying, man. We're playing against an Inteleon deck. Palkia with Inteleon. Cool. We got a little bit of a jammed hand. But we'll see. Dugong. Check our prizes. We get a seal. That's fine. And then we can quick ball away a water energy to go get Hisuian Basculin. Water energy to seal and retreats. And we'll gather the crew to go get Manaphy and another seal. And the hope is that I top deck a good card like Evolution Incense or a Supporter or an Ultra Ball or something like that. I think Dugong is pretty good. It's a pretty good single prize deck. All right, so they just go Melanie and Swing. So I need top deck right here. Cool. Right on cue. Thanks, Beebs. Water energy, and we'll use our Industrious Incisors for 5. And we've got an attack, so that's fine. I can level ball and go get Phineas, Capacious Bucket. That's a pretty solid attack this turn, so that's turn 2, 200 damage. We're not upset about that. And we retreat. And the weird thing about this board state is that it could be correct to swim freely here. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I don't have a supporter in hand. But we're going to say that they're just not going to. We're going to say that they're not going to gust my Bibarel. Why would they do that? Or I top deck a supporter card. There's no way they knock out my one of Bibarel. Yes, if the plan was to swim freely, then yes, we did want to hold the extra energy. There's no way they gust. No. They're just going to swing. They're going to be a good opponent and just knock out my Dugong. They never gust the Beaver. This last card, as far as they know, this last card in my hand is a Cynthia's Ambition. Right? They have no idea. They already used Irida, but they could use Double Cross Switcher. You would have played it as oh, that's right, I didn't play a supporter. So my top deck is going to be a Cynthia's Ambition. That's right. Yeah, no. They just got Subspace Welder. Yeah, they ain't doing nothing. We're chilling. Okay. Now we need, we finally got a Bruno. Okay. So we need to level ball for another Seal. We need to quick ball and probably want to set up another Bidoof. And then Bruno. And we're looking for some water energy. That's enough. It's fine. We're still in the process of thinning our deck. So once the deck gets real small, we're going to be seeing just water energy. But this will do for now. Flow return. And we hit a nice path to the peak. It's good. We've got Ordinary Rod in the hand, which is great. We can use that to put our gongs back into the deck. Now, they're probably going to attack with Inteleon this turn. Inteleon does deal a perfect 120 damage to knock out my Dugong. That was fine. No sweats. We're just going to continue knocking out exactly what's in front of us with the intention of just taking a big one-hit knockout at the end of the game. I do think one copy of Lady could be good in the deck. But the thing is, with like 4 research, you're probably going to just discard it. I feel like if we're playing all Cynthias and Brunos, then fine, but we need the research in the deck, so. Yeah, 1 for late game's cool, but the thing is, what are the odds of a supporter card making it to the late game in a deck that discards a lot of cards? So then, because we play the 4 research, and in a lot of situations, we just want to churn through the deck, right? Because you want research in this deck, like bad, because you want to discard. Once you kind of set up, you want to discard all of the fluff, like get it all out of here. I want to see a brand new hand and just get into the end game of the deck, which is like Dugongs and a copycat would be kind of interesting. I think that with the Lost Zone engine, right? The Lost Zone engine decks end up having like these really big hands all the time. Right? So it's kind of interesting. All right, we're going to Ordinary Rod. We'll do both. Like I said, you really don't end up with a lot of water energy in the discard pile. Like one, right? You almost... Yeah, because you don't really discard them often. So we'll get rid of the path, and we need a backup seal. And then we're going to Ultra Ball away. Let's see, we're actually going to do this. Get our second guy, and we're ready to like draw out the entire deck. Oh, I did not get my... That's fine. Oops. I knew I needed to get my Dugong. And I am getting severely punished for this. That's fine. I needed to get Dugong. Oh, no. It's fine. We're chilling. I got enough water energy now, so... I was like, oh, yeah, second Bibarel. This is great. All right, I need to just not whiff the Dugong. Gosh, what a... Sheesh. All right. That's fine. Okay. What's hilarious is that I need to accelerate all the energy so that I can get my hand back to 0, right? So that I can draw more cards next turn. So we're going to flow return, and we're going to put them all back into the deck. And I just need to make sure that I continue finding Dugongs. Because you can't accelerate energy without the Dugong. I knew that I messed that up. All right, so I needed, instead of getting the second Bibarel, I needed to get the Dugong. It's weird that you can only accelerate to the Dugongs and not the seals, so it's something you need to think about. Yes. Halo Chicken. Yes, it is standard. These cards are from the newest sets. They're going to bring up Manaphy, which is... Yo, chill! And the Canceling Cologne. But they don't have the path. They need to counter the path, too. And they do have the path counter. Wow. Okay. So they just win here. Well, this stinks. There's literally no defense I had for this. Right? There's nothing. There's literally nothing you could do about this. It's like, I have Manaphy, oh, well, I have, Canceling Cologne Cross Switcher. Yeah. And they take 2 prizes, and now I can't win the trade, right? What Palkia deck is playing Cologne? This one that I'm facing on the ladder right now. Yeah. We can't win that, so... It is tough being a single prize deck for sure, because things like that'll just happen. It's like You're just better off having some huge dudes and just gusting. So even though Dugong can do... You know, Dugong can do a lot of damage. Thank you, Bob, for the 25 months. And Dugong can do a lot of damage, but you're not really going to be able to pull off the boss play a lot, which does hinder you. Now, Zoroark, you just boss up whatever you want to knock out and you knock it out. But I tried playing my Zoroark deck one game and it immediately ran into a Miltank, which was not cool. Thank you, Lethio, for the Prime sub. Steelix Basculegion. And Zoroark is cool. It's a good deck. It's a deck. It's like basically a coin flip. You go first. You're probably having a good time. I'm okay with that. Playing against an Arceus deck. Yeah. We've got a good opening hand. I'm into it. Energy Lotto is probably a card that we want to hold on to. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm just going to quick ball away, switch. We'll go get Zoroark, Air Balloon the Diancie, and pass. And then we're just going to go in and knock out this guy turn 2. That's what we've got. Hisuian Zoroark V-Star knocking out Pokemon V-Star turn 2. The Dugong deck is pretty good, but I think like... Yeah, it's frustrating just having your whole strategy just picked apart without being able to disrupt the hand, right? The deck just needs a lot to operate. Like here, I'm just literally going to beat this Arceus deck just because I'm going to knock them out turn 2, right? It's kind of crazy. Let's do it. Let's just go in. Because we draw 5 cards here guaranteed. We find Ultra Ball and Damage Pump. I did that a little bit preemptively, but that's fine. No, this is fine. Yep. So we're going to go get probably another Gengar. Put down the Gapejaw Bog, pop out this Gengar, and then we damage pump, move some damage counters over here, and then research. And then I get to see 14 cards, minimum. Put down another Zoroark, put down Bidoof, and we want to thin the deck as much as we can because I'm just going for win. So I'm going to get that. We're going to quick ball. We're going to get this. And if I find an energy card, I win. We've got Trekking Shoes. Don't want that. We find Boss. Doesn't matter. We Phantom Star. We discard the hand and see 7 more cards. And we do find the energy finally. And I've got turn 2, 280 damage, right? GG's. GG's, man. That's it. Yeah. Do I want to... Nah, reset stamp. I would like N back in the format. Honestly. The cool thing about Zoroark is you can really put whatever you want in this deck. There are almost no rules. You can build it as like the most insane toolboxy card that you like, the most insane toolbox deck that you want to. Looks like I'm playing against a Kyurem VMAX, Origin Form, Palkia V-Star deck, something like that. We've got a pretty solid opening hand with Gapejaw Bog and a Crobat V, some Ultra Balls, and a Gengar. They've got Empoleon, that's fine. Doesn't really do anything to me. I guess it does allow them. So if my opponent wants to play Boss's Orders on turn 2 and play around my Diancie, Empoleon would allow them to do that, which is kind of annoying. But other than that, doesn't really do too much. So that's okay. They've got their whole board set up with a Rangaroo and Palkia. They don't have room for a Kyurem V, which is fine. I ain't worried about it. And it's game time. So let's do this thing. We've got Ultra Ball. Probably going to Ultra Ball away the Hisuian Zoroark, V-Star, and the Gengar to start things off. And we definitely want the Hisuian Zoroark V. Put that out. Bench that. Air Balloon to the Hawlucha. And let's track. Yeah, we want the damage pump. And then we pop out the Gengar. And then can instantly damage pump the Gengar there. Maybe it's best to move it off the Zoroark. Just 1 damage counter, but it's fine. We'll Crobat for 5. And then we've got a Bidoof. And we've got another Hisuian Zoroark V that we can bench. So let's Quick Ball away. Quick Ball. Get our other V. And then I'm thinking that, like, just looking at my prizes, it's like, all right, I've got Empoleon, I've got Palkia, and I've got Crobat. So I don't really care if my Hawlucha goes down because I've got all 6 prizes mapped out already. So there's no need to hang on to this Radiant Hawlucha. It just doesn't really matter, because I'm not going to need to knock out the Kyurem VMAX as part of my 6 prize game plan, because we play plenty of Boss's Orders to allow me to do that. I've got a really explosive looking turn 2 hand. They do not. I've got everything that I could possibly want right here. We just need to find the double turbo energy. So we'll do this. Can Ultra Ball and get another Hisuian Zoroark V-Star. And then Marnie. We do need to find double turbo energy still. And I've got my V-Star power to help me do that. I get to see 4 more cards with the double trekking shoes. Cool. I don't find it yet. Can damage pump and move 1 damage counter. That's fine. And then go Phantom Star. Just looking for a double turbo energy, and there they are. Beautiful. And that is turn 2, 280 damage for the knockout on Empoleon V. And we should be pretty much smooth sailing from here. We just go knockout, knockout, knockout game. It's that easy. We pretty much got checkmate set up at this point because we are winning the prize trade. We took the first knockout. I've got a board full of damage. Because of Gengar's Netherworld Gate ability, Avery is not a valid answer to disrupt you. Countering the Gapejaw Bog is not an answer to disrupt you because you've got at least a couple of Gengar that you could just pop into play. I do very much like the one of Crobat V in this deck just to make sure that your hands aren't dead at the beginning of the game. That's really good. Bibarel is also very good with this deck, as it allows you to fill your hand to 5 cards. Now, this deck's deal is that you need to win the prize trade. You need to be the first one to attack. Have to. Now, I don't have... This is an interesting situation because I do not have my Gapejaw Bog, so the Zoroark is not taking damage, so I could Gust this turn, which is fine, and then find a damage mover potentially later. Or find the... Yeah, actually like that. So we bench this. We boss this. And then we retreat. And we do that. And then to win the game, I just need to find an energy boss or a damage mover, right? So we just go knockout, knockout, knockout game. We win the trade, and that's it. By knocking out the Kyurem, we make it so that they cannot... I guess we do have to kind of worry about Radiant Greninja sometimes. But no, if they use Radiant Greninja, then I just go boss game on a Crobat. So, like, that's very easy to deal with. They could go Radiant Greninja and knock out my Hawlucha and the Gengar. That doesn't really matter. If I find the energy off the Energy Lotto, then I do just win. Because I've already got Hisuian Zoroark V-Star in my hands. And boss's orders. We can just bring up the Crobat and end it. So they just have to subspace swell for not the knockout. Well, that's just GG's, yeah. And we do find the energy. So even if they had taken the knockout, we had it regardless. And that is the match. Yeah, Zoroark wants to be a deck that goes first and gets the first knockout. That's like the whole idea. Go first, get the turn 2 knockout, and then you just, win the coin flip. You're in a good spot. just don't fumble the ball from there, and you're chilling. For those of you that are in the chat saying cut the Radiant Hawlucha, there's literally no point in cutting this card. Like, it's a one-of card that allows you to one-hit KO Kyurem VMAX and Mew VMAX with an Oricorio. It's just one card. It's one card, and there is literally no better Radiant Pokemon for you to play. Like, you can play Radiant Gardevoir, fine, sure. But you're already damaging yourself. It's just, as a one-of card, it has the most value. So you might as well play it. Definitely. Cool. Don't know exactly what I'm up against yet, but I am sure we will figure it out. Let's start by getting a Gengar into the discard pile. That's good. And then we've got 4 damage movers in the deck and some Gapejaw Bogs. I think I'm okay to quick ball away this Marnie and go get a Bidoof so that I can draw a lot of cards next turn. That's fine. I probably don't have to do like crazy one-hit KO damage next turn, so it's all right. I'll trek a couple of times while we got it. And we find Damage Pump, which is awesome. And we'll trek again. Find Double Turbo, which is great. And we can Netherworld Gate on up out of here. And then we'll Ultra Ball away these to go get Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, Damage Pump off of the Gengar, and put a damage counter onto Crobat and Bidoof. Attach the Double Turbo energy and pass. It's a little bit tough because I may not have the... All right, looks like I might be playing against a Cramorant deck. We'll see what else they got going on. It might just be Turbo Cramorants. I love Turbo Cramorants. Such a cool deck. If it is just Turbo Cramorants, then I don't have to worry about maxing out my damage outputs. I can just use Zoroark's Phantom Star next turn and draw. If they smack into my Zoroark, then they do increase my damage output. We'll see. They have a Manaphy start. They are playing... Okay, it's like a Lost Zone toolbox deck. Yes. Zoroark does not do well against single prize decks, obviously. We are a 270 hit point Pokemon V-Star that damages itself. And we only have 4 energy. And it doesn't... The energy count doesn't matter, because if you lose 3 Zoroarks, you lost the game. So that's why it's definitely optimal to just play the 4 energy in here. But yeah, if a single prizer is knocking you out, you're probably losing the game. But they don't get a turn 1 knockout. We're chilling. And I don't have to do a lot of damage, so I'm okay actually just doing this. And we just Phantom Star. Discard our hand. See a bunch of new cards. We got a Bibarel. We got another energy. Great, fantastic, cool. And we just do our 130 damage to the Comfy. Rock and roll. And then we just try to go knockout, knockout, knockouts as fast as we can. We're going to try and toggle between Zoroarks, see if we can't deny prizes. We may or may not be able to do that. If my opponent at any point decides they want to attack with Radiant Charizard, that's probably going to be bad for me. We do play a bunch of Marnies in here, though, which can situationally help. That's like one of the nice things about my Zoroark list. It's got 4 Marnies. You can really throw a wrench in the Lost Zone deck's game plan with a well-timed Marnie. Just set them to 4 cards. They might not have it. And that's one of the weaknesses of the single prize decks right now, because they are weak to hand disruption. They're really weak to hand disruption. They're really weak to Marnie, unless they're playing Bibarel. That's like the only defense against it. This list that I have built right now is not built to try and tank and heal. It's just built to try and be a beat stick, but you could play Sharon's Care if you want to. But I feel like if you're playing, you like might as well. I think that Zoroark V-Star is better than Giratina V-Star. Yeah. As like a standalone deck. We'll see what they got. They're probably going to attack with Cramorant this turn. That's fine. You could play 2 Sharon's Care. Certainly. Certainly would help you with matchups like this. Miltank's also an issue. In my mind, I have this deck built to just try and compete with other V-Star decks. I should have gotten a Gengar into the discard pile there, but... Oh, there are none. Cool. Sweets. Industrious Incisors. And we're just going to Marnie. Cool. Do that. And hope that maybe they don't have the choice belt to take a knockout with this Cramorant this next turn. Who knows? Yeah, if you want to beat Miltank, you could play 1 Canceling Cologne and you could play 1 Silene. I mean, that's the thing. The Zoroark decks, you can tech it out to be as crazy as you want, but we don't have like a, you know... You could tech it to be as crazy as you want it to be, but there's not like a defined metagame, so... I don't think that Miltank's going to be that big, because it's not very good against most of the top decks. I mean, it's not very good against Palkia, it's not very good against Giratina. And it's not very good against Mew VMAX. So the only decks that Miltank's good against, and it's not very good against these Cramorant decks. Sometimes when you're playing at a tournament, you need to take calculated risks. And I would say that, you know, taking a loss to... I don't really want to get rid of 3 bosses orders. Yeah. It's one of those hands we really wish there was a Marnie in it. 1, 2, 3. Well, That's fine. Cool. Get out our last Zoroark. Doesn't matter. If they knock out all these, I lose. So who cares? $12 cards left in deck. And we just do that. Oh, I do wish that I had another bench spot open so that I could build up another Zoroark. That's kind of like how we would win this. But we'll see. My only real hope here is to just Marnie. Another thing that you could do is if you wanted to have a better single prize matchup, you could play Roxanne to just try and disrupt at the end of the game. Oh, right. I can damage pump. That's the thing. Damage pump kind of is like a healing card too. In the single prize matchup, yeah. So that's something that I don't think that... yeah, if you double damage pump, that's like minus 40. So... something to think about. Yeah, damage pump. That's why when people say to cut damage pump, like, dude, you can go crazy with the damage pumps and just play them like potions. It's pretty good. It's like a good card. And not to mention you need it to max out your damage output. Like, you need it early a lot of times because you're not always going to find your stadium. It's like you're not always going to find your stadium and you're not always going to find your damage pump. So I like having both options. I like maxed out damage pump instead of Sharon's Care. I mean, it just... All right, so they've got Sableye. And the Lost Mine, they can't take two prizes, so that's good. And then I'll probably just win. It's because single prize decks are still just in a really bad spot. My favorite single prize deck is the Cramorant deck. Because it's just so consistent and aggressive. Got one Marnie and 2 energy left in the deck. I got my Bibarel knocked out? What the heck, bro? That's cringe. It's fine. No, probably just going to come screaming in with a Charizard. But that's okay. They find a choice belt. They can take the knockouts. I've got an energy lotto, which will guarantee me the energy. So that's pretty good. I wish I had my Marnie in my hand to disrupt a little bit, but it probably doesn't really matter. My opponent not swinging into a Zoroark last turn is quite good for me. Because now they still have to take 2 knockouts. So you can see, like, I'm still kind of winning the trade right now. Unless they can steal a 1-hit knockout with a Charizard, I'm going to win the trade. But they have to. like right now. Or they have to, so even if they play Escape Rope, like my answer is to bring up Zoroark. They can win. They have Raihan. I mean, they just have to go get Charizard right now. They have to go get Charizard. They have to Choice Belt Charizard, knock out Zoroark. I bring up my Zoroark, knockout. They need to go boss for game. Something like that. Or Sableye for game. If they play Charizard, well, what's the fire energy for if they don't play no Charizard? They got to, right? Yeah, so there's got to be a Charizard. For intimidation, that's fair. It could just be the intimidation factor. It's to confuse. You're right. Capture energy for the Charizard. Then Raihan to the Charizard. Or Magma Base into the Charizard. There's the Choice Belt. Holy smokes. I'm telling you. It could all go downhill. And they've got the Sableye, bro. They just checkmated me. Because they can Raihan to the Sableye. Yeah. So, it's just GG's. Right. And I know they got Raihan in hand. They haven't played it yet. Like, I can take this knockout, but it doesn't really matter. See, there was a route. They just had to take the one-hit KO with Charizard. And now they bring up Sableye and they knock out one of my guys. But we shouldn't have a good single prize. The single prize deck should beat us every single time. They should. Because, like, we don't trade well with these guys. At all. Now, maybe if you played like a more Healy version of the deck with Sharon's Care or something like that. Maybe. You could play a Lost City. There are things you could do, but it's like, you know, what are you trying to beat? You're going to stomp on, with a list like this, you're going to stomp on the V-Star decks. That list I was playing against doesn't play Giratina V-Star. It was just a Cramorant Charizard Sableye deck. You could play Gardevoir. No, Gardevoir's from Pokemon V. Isn't it? So, yeah, Gardevoir's just from Pokemon V. Nice. You gotta love it when your opponent just gives you a little help. Feels good. And we find another Zoroark, which is good. Energy Lotto. Great. And we can Crobat. Okay. Quick ball away the Gengar. And next turn, I'm going to have 3 Hisuian Zoroark V-Star in play. How about that? Do a little hit and run into Gengar. Oh, this matchup is tough because I damaged myself. But it's very good because I'm just the better deck. So, yeah. So there's that. Right, what you have failed to remember is that, yeah, whoever takes the first 2 prize knockout, right. But you fail to realize that I just have a better deck over here. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Uh-huh. So I'm going to be taking knockouts easier than they are. And I could go into coughing and ascend. That would be annoying. No, my Zoroarks. All right. This matchup is good because Samurott is not. Precisely. Now, what if they go and they poison me and they... No, they turn off my abilities. I didn't see this coming. No, don't do this. No, why would you do this to me? No. Why would you poison my Gengar? Now I just have to sit here and hang out while I do nothing. Just a slow, painful... Oh, nice. Okay, cool. That's fine. We'll do that. We'll go get Zoroark. And then Belt, Quick Ball, Bidoof, and then Phantom Star, and I need a switch or a energy to retreat. We've got the energy at least, so I can take that knockout, but we'll see if we can't do one better. Ultra Ball, nah. All right, we find the other Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, and then we retreat. Bada boom, bada bing. Ticking Curse. Turn 2, boss 310 damage. Your guy is done. I am profiting. And that's probably the end of the game right there. Righto. Now I know you guys are thinking, but Tricky Jim, you're so lucky. Nah. That ain't luck, bro. Yep, being a good deck was the strategy. Told you. You're lucky to put the boss in your deck. Right. Exactly. Yeah, Zoroark's kind of cool. Oh, Vodouche. That's a good question. Anybody in the chat know the answer to Vodouche's question there? Because I'm not 100 on it. I think it's whichever one is in the active first is the one that works. Yeah, first come, first serve. That's what I think it is. Thank you, Black Adder, for the tier 1 sub in the 3 months. Looks like I am going second against a Palkia deck. Not great for us, but I do have Diancie in the active spot with its Princess's Curtain ability, so hopefully I'm not going to get gusted turn 2. Palkia decks do tend to play cross-switcher, though, so they can get around Princess's Curtain, but, you know, we do what we can out here. Marnie. Yeah, it's a pretty good card. We'll probably just take that. And we can bench Zoroark and that's fine. Ultra Ball away these and go get a Bidoof and Marnie. That's fine. Slap the double turbo energy there and pass. So we need the Zoroark to live through the turn. My opponent could go Radiant Greninja, and then we just lose. Actually. Like a surefire loss. And it's very easy. They just retreat. They already have it. And then they just knock out both my guys, and then I'm like, well, not necessarily. Because I could go Hisuian Zoroark, V-Star, boss up their Palkia and want to KO it. It's possible, but... It's a tough situation. Maybe it should not have been Bidoof then. Maybe that's my fault for benching the Bidoof. Should have been maybe another Zoroark so they couldn't make this play. They got a lot of buckets in their hand. Oh. Did not expect them to go up with the Palkia. But they might be using Cross Switcher. No? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. If they simply knock out my Diancie with Palkia, I will... Sure. They got Big Charm, though. But that's fine. Because with the Choice Belt, I can do 310. So, that's fine. They're actually playing into, like, exactly... They should have gone Radiant Greninja and knocked out my two guys. I don't see why you wouldn't do that. But, hey, it's cool. I ain't going to complain. So now, at this point, if I just literally trade... If I just out-trade them, then I should win. So, let's see what we can do. So I can use Dark Assets. We find another Double Turbo Energy and Evolution Incense and Boss's Orders. I can Trekking Shoes. We find... No, Zoroark, don't want that. So we've got a switch. That doesn't matter. We can Marnie. I don't have a Gengar in the discard pile yet, but that's fine because I can Evolution Incense for one and then just discard it. So we'll probably do that. I would like to Damage Pump, though. So we can Damage Pump off the Crobats. To a Zoroark. And then do I want to... No, we just want to Phantom Star. So we're going to discard the Gengar and the energy. And we find Bibarel, and we find another Damage Pump, which is exactly why we play 4 of them. Because consistency is very important. So, pop this dude out, which we know we'll want. We can Trekking Shoes to see, because I need 2 more basic Pokemon. So Trekking Shoes, see if we find one. We don't. And we find Zoroark. So now I have it. We bench the Zoroark under Gapejaw. We Damage Pump off the Gengar to the Bibarel. And we quick ball this to go get another Bidoof. And it's that easy. Turn to 310 damage. And I could boss if I wanted to. Isn't that nuts? Turn to 310 damage. No looking back. Boss's orders in the hand for next turn. We assume that they're going to take a knockout. I need to find another energy, which is fine. I don't have one yet. But I do have a couple of Bibarel in my hand. Unfortunately, I did not have another Hisuian Zoroark down, so I couldn't drop that double turbo energy, which would have been quite good. So that is unfortunate. Temple of Sinnoh. Ooh, what's my... Oh, God! 3 Gapejaw down? Okay. Well... Yeah, that's tough. 17 cards left in the deck. We can make this happen. All right, they've got a full bench and Evolution Incense to go get their Palkia, which is fine. And Subspace 12 for the knockout. So yeah, I've got some things that I need. I know. The one Palkia player with Temple Sin. I know. It's cool, man. There, we got Damage Pump. We're chilling. Okay. So we evolve here. We bench this. We Damage Pump from here to here. We switch. We evolve. And I get 2 incisors for 2 big ones. Okay, yep, those cards were not particularly good. I am going to need to find one of those lovely supporter cards. That'd be great. But I've only got an Industrious Incisors for 1. No! Come on. Sad. All right, we lose now, so I'll scoop. Yeah, that's... No more Gapejaw on the deck. Oh, then we instantly lost because of the Temple of Sinnoh. Well, that'd be a learning to go into Game 2 situation. Like, all right, you play Temple of Sinnoh, it's good to know. So, that's fine. You just need to out-trade. We started the trade, but obviously missed a couple of things there at the end. That'll happen sometimes. Okay. Kind of just like holding here and kind of seeing what my opponent does. I've got a pretty good hand for next turn. We've got Marnie, we've got Damage Pump, we've got 2 Ultra Balls, right? No, the Zoroark versus Palkia matchup's not bad. We just, yeah, got stuck there. A Lightning Energy. And sometimes you get stuck. We could play... Yeah, we had our Gengars clogged in the hand. You could play like 3 Marnie, 3 Research if you wanted to. I like Marnie, though, because as you can see here, it's like you want to be able to preserve those double turbo energies. You don't just want to discard them, you know, all the time. All right, I got 4 cards in the Lost Zone, so they could swing into my Zoroark turn 1. Lost Box, amazing Raikou. Now we should, let's see, we got Marnie, 3 Ultra Balls. Yikes. That's cool, man. Cool, bro. That's fine. I definitely want to Marnie. That's fine. I kind of like need another bench Pokemon. I really want to move these damage counters off. So it's like I'm kind of weirdly thinking about getting Crobat here just because it's like can dig too. Yeah, which like ended up being fine, right? Because then all I need to do is quick ball away the Bibarel and I can go get another one of these and then I can damage pump 2 there and then damage pump again, 1 here and 1 here, and now I've got double turbo and Marnie, and we find everything we need to attack, so that's cool. Choice belts, trekking shoes, Halucha. It's kind of like a liability in this matchup, so I'm not going to bench the Halucha. We find a switch, do that, and we can Phantom Star to discard our hand and draw 7 cards. And in this matchup, I don't really even think that I want to put the Gapejaw Bog down, really. So I'm just going to quick ball away Research, and we just want to get as many Zoroarks in play as possible. That kind of seems like the deal. And then we're just going to Ticking Curse for the knockouts. And we should be in a pretty good position. We're starting the trade. We're just going to set up as many Pokemon V as we can. And then try to just switch between them, right? We don't want to put any weak Pokemon down that can maybe fall victim to Radiant Greninja or anything like that, or Sableye, right? And by healing 40 damage from the Hisuian Zoroark V-Star, we did take away a significant chunk of damage that Cramorant dealt, so that's good. And with our heavy Marnie counts, we're kind of just hoping that the consistent hand disruption will go a long way towards slowing my opponent down. So they swing and miss on Hisuian Heavy Ball, and I think they just lose. No, they can capture energy. Okay. They've got plenty of cards in the Lost Zone, so they could just go Cramorant and swing again, but if they do that, they're probably just losing. So it looks like they're going to get a Comfey, maybe retreat into the Comfey. So they can Flower Select again. They've got Drapion in there. And a Quick Ball. And they're discarding Silene for Radiant Greninja. Right, so I don't want to put down any weak Pokemon since I'm playing against a single prize deck. Might be a single prize deck. I mean, I'm assuming that it is. And we could easily accommodate for Manaphy in this deck. If you want to play Manaphy, we could play Manaphy. It's like meta dependent, right? Could certainly do that, which would help protect against Radiant Greninja, but they don't even have an attack, so that is quite good for us. Like Ultra Ball away these, just get another Zoroark into play, and we can Marnie again. Set them to 4 cards, decrease their hand size. And we're kind of chilling. The Gapejaw Bog doesn't really matter. It might matter if they bench like a Charizard or something, so maybe. It's fine. And then just ticking Curse for the knockout again. We've got back-to-back Boss. I do think that they're having a little bit of a slow start, it seems. I mean, they swung with Cramorant once, but then nothing to back it up. There's some sort of single prize Lost Zone deck, but not exactly sure what the attacking strategy is going to be. They may go in with like Raikou or something. Dunsparce, you could play Dunsparce. That's what I'm saying. This is just a vanilla list that I have here. It's meant to be tech. Like, you could tech it however which way you want. You could play Dunsparce, you could play Manaphy, you could play Jolteon and Memory Capsule. That's something that I've been thinking about. You could, it depends on what you're expecting. I think Jolteon Memory Capsule could be very cool in Hisuian Zoroark. You want the spicy list? You need the juice for Peoria? If you want the juice, I'll show you. I had an unhinged list. I have a very unhinged list if you're curious. Where you just play like a bunch of crazy singleton cards. This is just like a very vanilla Hisuian Zoroark list. Just to get an idea of like the basics. You want to see my crazy lists? Well, the crazy list plays Jolteon. I think I just Sableye can take a knockout. Yeah, Jolteon will just win you the Cram matchup. Right. It helps against a lot of single prize decks. Nice. That's good. And it's good against Inteleon decks. And then you can play a Rangaroo V to go get your tool. Now we're talking. You could play literally whatever bench Pokemon you want. Hello! Oh, man. Oh, boy. I'm about to get punished. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. That's fine. You know? Okay. Yeah, Dunsparce would be kind of nice, I guess, right around this moment. Yeah, that's kind of... Well, yeah, you don't love to see that. 160 damage times 2. That'll do it. Right, yeah, I got a tech for the Zygarde matchup. Right. See, caught me slipping, bro. Unacceptable. I need to do 130 damage. Thankfully, I have some Gengars, so we're chilling. Well, we got a couple prizes left to take. We're close. We're not there yet. I do also like that Jolteon stops Radiant Greninja from using concealed cards, stops Cramorant, stops Inteleon, stops Palkia, stops Kyurem. Yeah, pretty much stops all the good stuff, right? And then you should be able to kind of just beat other decks. What do you guys think? You think I'm just going to get smacked again? You think they're just going to rod in the guy and I'm just going to get smacked again with another Zygarde? Thank you, Corbeno, for the Prime sub. And thank you, Acacia Strain, for the Prime sub. All right, raise your hand in the chat if you want to see this Zygarde knock out my Zoroark V-Star again. Anybody want to see that? You want to see the Zygarde win the game? Yeah, well. It's your lucky day, chat. Yeah. Yeah, it's your lucky day. Not great. As you can see here. You know, I could have fixed all of this with one Dunsparce, maybe. But no. All right, I need both my damage pumps. Need both pumps. I've got 5 cards in deck. I'm guaranteed to hit them. And then we pump. And we dump. And you need to not be able to deal 130 damage. That's it. That's the best I got. Or you need to not have boss on my bench Crobat. That's a misplay. I should have put them all onto the Gengar. Ew. Whoops. Yeah, that was a throw. All right, fine. They ain't got it though. No way. No. That's what I'm saying. The single prize matchups are still close. Like, I'm not even teching for these matchups, and we're still almost winning, right? Which kind of like, I feel like this is the information you want before you start teching your deck. First, you want to see how close it is, right? And then you're like, okay, well, then maybe we'll start teching. But, like, it's good to know that it's all of our single prize matchups are, like, right here. And that's with 0 techs. Like, this is just straightforward, aggressive Zoroark deck. What do you think the lightning energy is for? Zeraora? Brother. Stage 2 Magnezone? That Sableye, Psychic Energy, they could have just done it. That's on me, though. I should not have put those damage counters on the Crobats. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was thinking that they had 1 prize remaining, but they do not. They have 2. So that's on me. Yeah, Zoroark is definitely better than I think it was originally getting credit for. It's a very scary deck to play against. Dang it, bro. All that time just to... What? What are you doing, bro? That's fine. That's fine. We're chilling, man. All right, cool. That's fine. They saw that I misplayed, and they didn't want to punish me for misplaying. So, no. Nah, bro. I take what's mine for sure. Yeah, I take what belongs to me. Thank you. They threw it back, right? I threw them the ball because really I had game because I should have put the damage counters onto the Gengar instead of the Crobat, but I misplayed by putting them on the Crobat, which then gave them the game. So then they were nice enough to throw me the ball back, realizing that really in an optimal world that I would have won the game. So they just wanted to be a nice person, and you got to put some respect on that, right? Yeah. It happens. It's just good sportsmanship. All right, the spicy Zoroark. Now, if you wanna get spicy with it, you take out like a lot of the consistency cards, right? You really trim out all the fat, and you start asking yourself, like, okay, what can I get away with removing? Thank you, Jaeger, for that tier 1 sub in the 31 months. right? Yeah, 3 Marnie. Sure. Right. Look at that. 8 spots, bro. Dang. I got 8 spots. What am I going to do with all that space? I'm glad you asked. Then we need memory capsules. You could put a mill tank in there. We got Diancie. Oh, yeah. Now we're cooking. Just don't prize your Bibarel ever. Honestly, you don't really even need Bibarel to the end of the game. We're chilling. Three research, 3 Marnie. What am I going for with this list? There's no, am I going for max rarity or min rarity? Because I feel like I'm conflicted right now. It's like I've got some full art bosses. I got golden switches out here. You don't even need the one of Energy Lotto. Who cares, bro? Yeah, min rarity is for the people. I agree. One air balloon, 4 quick ball. Ultra ball. Double turbo energies. Got 3 bogs, 4. Yeah, I like 4 evolution incense. It's good. 4 quick ball, 4 ultra ball. That's good stuff right there. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Look at that spicy deck, bro. All right. Hang tight. I'll be right back with the spicy Zoroark in just a second. Make sure to check out fullgripgames.com for all the best Pokemon trading card game singles. and sealed product. I'll be right back. All right. Thank you for the patience. We're back. Oh, yeah, man. It's looking smooth. Big chillin'. I want another boss's orders in here, but it's fine. All the swim free. Oh yeah, the swim free. The swim freely decks. They got no chance, man. Going first is exactly what we want to do with a pile like this. Thank you, Golden Face, for the sub in the 17 months. You want to go first, get the turn 2 Jolteon, the turn 2 attack. I mean, you draw enough cards, you're just like powering through the deck. We do not have, unfortunately, the basics that we want. But that's okay. Looks like I'm playing against the Reggies. It's not a perfect matchup for us. Could be tough, most definitely, but that's okay. Thin the deck a little bit. We want research, yes. And then can Gape Jaw, put the Bidoof down. And will they get a turn 1 attack? Definitely not. So I'll pass. And then I do at least have Dunsparce in here. So that's cool. But then I got to deal with this guy. But that's fine. I can pivot between Zoroarks, I guess. It's just not, you know, a great matchup for us. By any means. The Reggies, not what we're planning on trying to beat. They've got Regidrago, Aurora Energy, that's fine. And Bruno for 4. It's pretty good for us. The damage on these guys doesn't really matter. It would be nice to have like a more solid answer against single prize decks for Zoroark, but I don't feel like, I just don't think it's the deck's strength, right? It's just not the Pokeball. What? Anyways, it's not the deck's strength. So I don't really think it's worth leaning into. I mean, you can account for at least some of the water type Pokemon's abilities with the Jolteon. You could play a Sharon's Care. That's fine. You could play 2 Sharon's Care. You could, if you want to. But you got to wonder, like, what other, consistency, what consistency are you sacrificing by doing that? It's a hard question to answer. Okay, we found the double turbo energy easy. We've got Gengar in the discard pile, so we can pop that dude out. We've got Dunsparce, but the problem is, all right, we got Dunsparce, but then I could damage pump off the Dunsparce. Then we could Trekking Shoes. And do I actually want to keep the boss? Sure, I'll keep the boss. So we can quick ball away the choice. We can go get Zoroark. I'll save the boss for next turn. We can do Industrious Incisors and retreat into Zoroark. Ho! That was a misclick. I'm just gonna shame concede there. Whoa! Oh! Whoops! Yeah. Hate it when you go to attack and you accidentally discard your hand. Yeah. Yeah, that was a shame scooper for sure. It's fine. Shake it off, chat. Shake it off. Shake it off, chat. Shake it. Shake it off. There's always next game. We're going second. Interesting. Dang, do I open the Gapejaw more now that I only play 3 of them? Maybe. The Clefairy deck. Why do I... See, here's the... And it's like, all right, so playing against the single prize decks is just going to make me want to just rage quit and then just play my Cramorant deck. And it's like, all right, so if you wanted me to just play the Cramorant deck, I'll just play the Cramorant deck, and then I will just beat your single prize decks just as we had decided. But I had to move on because I can't just play the Cramorant deck every single time, okay? But the Cramorant deck beats all these decks. Because it's the broken Cramorant deck. No, I have to play something else. No, and here's an Inteleon deck that I wanted to play with the Zoroark deck. But of course, can't always get what you want, man. There's no winning out here. I know, and here's the water abilities that I was trying to hit with the Zoroark deck. What the heck, bro? Imagine all these water-type Pokemon's abilities I could turn off. Man, it'd be glorious. I know Zoroark came out like forever ago in Japan. Ice Cube? Easy. They think they got me with the Ice Cube. You thought. They're powering up Greninja? Which is fine. Take the Battle VIP pass. And we've got 4 in the Lost Zone now. And let's escape rope. We'll see who they put up. It's going to be Ice Cube, which is fine. So we'll send up this. We'll battle VIP pass. And this is where we would want Manaphy, but apparently I have prized it, so that's fine. We'll get these. Yeah, that's fine. And we'll spit. And hopefully find Manaphy. We don't find Manaphy. That's fine. It just means I need to scoop up net one of these Comfy. I wonder if they just are going to like Raihan and use Radiant Greninja. It'd be interesting. Not exactly sure what kind of deck they're playing. Maybe they'll Raihan. They got Quick Ball. I am assuming it's a Palkia deck. Nope. Nope. There's Snob. All right. So the supporter for turn is a research. Cool. That means you're not attacking with Greninja, which means that I can just knock it out. By benching another Articuno. So let's do that. Well, Trekking Shoes. Do I need to be able to do... No, I don't need to be able to do that much damage. We've got a Boss's Orders. That's good. And we'll Gear. Swing and a miss. It's fine. We'll just knock out the Greninja. I do wish I had a... Scoop up nets, but that's fine. Bench the Articuno and just knock out the Greninja. We find Culrus's Experiments. They could still get Radiant Greninja back out. Yeah, with Nessa, right? And then still knock out 2 Comfy. But that's fine, though, because they take 2 prizes, but then I just knock out the Greninja right back. So it doesn't really matter, right? I do need to make sure I hold on to my other Echoing Horn so that I can get around Inteleon, because I can't one-hit KO Inteleon. It's actually not something that this deck can do. So we have to go around Inteleon, which is certainly doable for us. Again, if I had Manaphy right now, then this would be a non-issue, but the Manaphy is prized. And if I had found another scoop-up net, it would also be a non-issue because I would have picked up one of these Comfies, but we have not been able to find one of those yet. Now, there's going to be a lot of Inteleon, so I am going to have to use my bosses effectively. Fortunately, I do have 4 of them. I know, I need 5 Articuno. You're right. I do also need them. Yeah, just keep benching little guys. That's great. Cool, so we knock out the Greninja. We got Colress. That's fine. Everything's cool. Well, Colress. Not a lot to work with there. That's fine. Path can be good. Can turn off the Radiant Greninja and remove their training court, so that's cool. So we'll do that. We'll bench our other Cram. And I think I'm kind of just chilling. So we'll spit. Do our 130. Still wish we could find Manaphy off the prizes, but we can't. They've got this Inteleon now. Which is fine. We've got ropes and bosses. We're up on prizes. We do have to worry about the spread damage, right? I mean, we prized our Manaphy, so like that's annoying. But we do have scoop up nets and switch carts to like prevent the inevitable double prize take. So long as I can... Right, and we didn't bench a Comfy because we don't want to give them that. So we just continue removing options. Like next turn, I Gust the Sobble. And we're like, okay, it's fine. And we're going to promote this Cramorant because you're trying to spread damage to it. We got double rope. Quick ball away the path. Thin the deck. Got horn. Okay. Trekking shoes. Rod. Yeah, we take the rod. I've only got 3 prizes left. I don't actually need the rod because I'm going to take a knockout each in the next 3 turns, and if I don't, I lose. So... yeah, that's fine. Find another rope. That's cool. I guess I do need to look out for like the Greninja play. Right? Because with quick shooting, they could like math some stuff. Because this has got 100... No, I'm okay. I'm okay for this turn. All right, so we're going to Gust up the Sobble. And then just take the knockout. I could knock out the Moths, but what does that matter? Still no Manaphy, which is like just pure pain at this point. But that's okay. Here's our friend Greninja. Yeah, and they just have it, right? So they can take they quick shoot this, and then they just win. Yeah, so that's sad. I was thinking, I forgot that they could knock out both that way, yeah. We needed the Manaphy that game. That was going to be bad news. Without the Manaphy against Radiant Greninja. But, surprised. I think we have a Hisuian Heavy Ball on the list. I think we do. We didn't find that either. You know what? Zoroark would have been... No, we're not conceding. Come on. We got this one. It happens, man. Yeah, we do have Hisuian Heavy Ball on the list. So, yeah, I mean, we just didn't see that either. It's unfortunate. And then, Kevin, to answer your question about comeback potential, there is no comeback potential in Standard. Yeah, man. What format are you playing? Brother? Yeah, not really. Yeah, this is a whole Weezing deck, so... Yeah, that's bad. We actually cannot beat the Weezing deck either. Back to Zoroark. Maybe I could have donked, right? It's cool, man. We'll get it to buff out one of these games. We're going to play a decent matchup. It's going to be fine. Dugong? Yeah, Dugong was fun until I got hit with the canceling clone. And then the Radiant Greninja knockout. And then made me want to quit. Sweet. We're playing against a Lost Zone deck. That's cool. Let's go get a Gengar into the discard pile. We can do that. So we can trek a couple of times. I don't think that I'm going to have to worry about any water type abilities to turn off. So let's not. Cool. We got both our Gengar in our hand. And we can Ultra Ball both these away. And go get ourselves a Hisuian Zoroark V. And we're ready to go. Oh, turning off Cramorant. That's, you know, I forgot about that. We'll get it next turn. Yeah. Turning off the whole cram thing. I forgot. That's like one of the reasons we're here. To turn off the crams. And the Articunos. Yeah. It's cool. We got it next turn. That's right. That's right. I always, like, yeah, I don't know why. I was tripping. I was thinking like Giratina or something. But even those play Cramorants. But this looks like it's going to be a Cramorant-focused deck. So we could potentially just auto-win. By setting up the... Oh, you roped my fella. That is not very nice. Why would you do that? I don't think that they had 4 in the Lost Zone. But perhaps they thought they did. I think the only deck with like real comeback potential in standard format right now is Palkia and Inteleon. Because you can like path Roxanne, right? So like that's the only comeback play. Oh, maybe Goodra. Yeah, I guess comeback potential because that deck just is losing the whole time until maybe you eventually win. All right, we're going first against a Lost Zone deck, and I am going to try and set up my Jolteon so that I can win. That would be nice. So let's get rid of this Gengar. I've got an Eevee in my opening hand. We've got Jolteons in the deck. That's good. What about Bibarel? We've got Bibarel in the deck as well. This is all great. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Let's do it. Now I don't want to use my air balloon to move this Eevee because I'm going to want to attach the capsule to it, so I'll have to find a switch, but that's fine. We play switch. So that's no sweat. Let's pop this guy. And then we're going to damage pump onto these. I guess I ought to... because like, what if they go Cram, knock out my Eevee turn 1? So then I should probably... This is probably an error. It's fine. I'm here now, so it's fine. All right. We unfortunately did not find any way to move this Eevee, so that's cool. All right. We needed those, so we'll take it. They're at work. Their boss walked in. It's time to go. Arceus Inteleon looping. I mean, what against other Arceus Inteleon mirrors or against other Arceus matchups? Like, I guess, but doesn't every deck kind of just one-hit KO now? I mean, like, you've got like Arceus flying Pika decks don't play. Arceus flying Pikachu decks don't really even play Sharon's Care anymore because it's just a race, right? Yeah, unfortunately, Clefairy having 60 hit points is like really bad for the deck because if you're playing against any Lost Zone deck that plays Sableye, they're just going to knock out 2 Clefairy at once and you lose. So that's really tough. Looks like I'm playing against maybe some sort of, yes, Lost Box, Radiant Charizard style deck. Cool. As you can see by the fire energy, they probably play Cramorants and Charizard. So, yeah, there's Cramorant right there. So they're going to try and get a couple of cards into the Lost Zone here turn 1. And then I'm going to try and set up my Jolteon so that I can turn off the Cramorants, right? That's what I've got going on. And we let it rip. This is good stuff. This is real good stuff. I like what I see. We can quick ball away the Gengar, get that into the discard pile. Take a look at, yep, Beebs is in the deck. My other Eevee is not in the deck, but that's fine. We can get the Bidoof down, another Zoroark down. And since my other Eevee is not around, we might as well play that. And Crobat. And then, yeah, this is just pretty much a brilliant opening for us. We can just Ultra Ball away these. And we go get the Diancie. And this way, they cannot Gust me turn 1. So I'm going to Void Return, or they can't Gust me turn 2, right? Not easily, anyway. They'd have to rope around it. So we go into Diancie. Next turn, I can basically do whatever I want. It's great. I got Culver's Experiment. It's fine. Yeah, I've got Research, Switch, Ultra Ball. If they knock out my Diancie, I just Ultra Ball for my Hisuian Zoroark V-Star and Research, and I have the potential to see 14 cards next turn. They do have Rope, though, which is sad, but I will let the Bidoof go. We definitely want to offer up a single prize if we can. If they are going to take a knockout with Cramorant or something like that. I do have all 3 Gapejaw Bog in the discard pile now. It could be Lost Zone Reshiram, but they got Psychic Energy, so it's probably not Reshiram. It's probably just Sableye, Charizard, Cramorant. If I have to guess. And they've got nothing. So I will switch into Zoroark. And then we'll just Research. Oh boy, that's fine. Anybody ask for a damage pump? Take some of that damage and move it to the active. That's fine. Evolution Incense. We can go get Hisuian Zoroark V-Star. And then I'm not sure that there's anywhere else. Yeah, I guess I can move like an extra damage counter to that Crobat. And that's fine. Extra damage counter to the Bidoof. Cool. And then we can just Phantom Star. And we find our good friend Jolteon. Set up the Jolteon, Zoroark, and Ticking Curse. And that's a pretty good situation for us. I mean, the Jolteon is certainly a nice little protection, makes it so that they can't attack with Cramorant. If they get 10 cards into the Lost Zone, and they've got, what, 5, 6? If they get 10 cards into the Lost Zone, they can knock out the Jolteon with Sableye, but it is still a roadblock that is tough for them to play around. So that's good. If we want to get like even more degenerate and spicy with this list, we could put in like a Sharon's Care if we want to. You could. Now they've got, what, 5, 8 cards in the Lost Zone. And they do not have anything going on. So we'll just continue swinging. fine. I don't really have to play any cards. Only 15 cards left in my deck. And I guess I could have just burned through and gotten to, like, you know, the final 5 cards in my deck. But I do have 4 prizes left to take, so probably doesn't matter. Got 1 switch in the discard pile. They've only got 8 cards in the Lost Zone, so they can't Lost Mine yet. And we're kind of just chilling. What else do you need? Nothing. We're going to try and boss stall my Bidoof and bench Charizard. Okay, we've got Bibarel. There is a switch and 2 double turbo in the deck. I'm thinking that I don't even want to trek. We just are going to research. Because, yeah, I'm at like a dangerously low amount of cards left in my deck. So I just need to make sure I don't lose. I think I can afford to just retreat this fella. Which seems fine, honestly. So let's just do that. 6 cards left in deck. There's an air balloon. That's good. There's 1 switch in there. Now, with 260 hit points left, they do need a damage buff, and they need a Raihan in order to attack with Charizard this turn. So, nah, they ain't got it. All right, you guys want to get even more crazy with the list? You're right. We're not crazy enough. We could get spicier. Like way spicier. I'm talking, we could play like a Silene. You could play like a Sharon Scare. You could play like a Canceling Cologne. There's all these different things you could do. If you want to. I don't think we need Canceling Cologne. No, that card is not good. I don't even think that we need Sharon Scare. What else do you even, like, what else do you want? Could play Roxanne. Machamp VMAX is a chunky dude. Icky, you like Machamp VMAX, don't you? You could play Echoing Horn. Looks like we're up against a fighting deck. You could play Roxanne. You could. Go in second. That's fine. Oh? Take out the shoes for hammers. Yeah, we could really make this deck crazy, man. Oh, we're playing against the Arcanine deck. Don't they do like 190 damage every turn? I'm just going to lose, man. I guess, unless we play the share. All right, fine. You've convinced me, chat. All right, so we need to put in Sharon's Care. Sharon's Care. We're never going to use the Halucha. Yeah. We're just going to pick our dudes up and they're never going to get knocked out. How about that? You could play Radiant Gardevoir. Sure. Like I said, you could do whatever you want. The problem with this card is that it's literally pointless. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about this card being pointless? Palkia is the most important Pokemon V. Palkia is the most important Pokemon V in the game. And this card is pointless against it. Halucha is pointless, but Halucha is good against more than Gardevoir is. You all just like Gardevoir. You just want to play Gardevoir. I know exactly what it is. I also like Halucha more than Gardevoir, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. We're cooking out here, bro. Look at that. Played 2 boss because I've got a pal pad now. And then we can put the Halucha in here. Thank you, Weenie Lawyer, for that Prime sub. Appreciate you. Why do I play against the water duck as soon as I take out my... I never get lucky, man. Never lucky. Okay, let's see what we're up against. Curious about the Sharon's Cares. See if we'll actually use them or if they're going to feel like a waste of space. I'm leaning towards waste of space, but we'll see. Well, okay. In the Lunatone Zoroark matchup, maybe they're pretty good. That's cool, man. That's fine. We'll take it. How many Sharon's Care? I got one Sharon's Care in my deck. That's fine. Bench this. Don't need this. Evolution Incense. Get another Gengar. I should have kept that Choice Belt. I could Ultra Ball away the Choice Belt and the Gengar. Yeah, that's a real amateur hour out here. But that's okay. I won't need to do a lot of damage, so I can get rid of this damage pump. Okay. Okay. And we'll pass. Isn't crazy. This time last year, Shadow Rider was a good deck. Holy smokes, man. That's crazy. Yeah, that is something to think about. Tag teams. Well, I guess tag teams rotated right after Worlds last year. So, at this time last year, tag teams had just rotated out. Nice. I love it when my opponent plays Pokestop. Man, I love rolling the dice, bro. So you think I'll discard any double turbo energy if I just let it rip? What do you think? No way I discard any. Just 3 double turbos guaranteed. It's possible. 2 double turbo and 1 Sharon's Care. Yeah, especially if you're playing on the ladder, there are so many single prize decks right now that I feel like Sharon's Care is kind of probably needed in this deck. It's a lot. It's like almost every other matchup is a single prize matchup. And you're probably just not going to be able to beat your single prizers with the Hisuian Zoroark deck unless you account for that in some kind of way. And Sharon's Care is probably just the best. And it makes sense. You pick up your Zoroark, takes damage, you lay it back down. Yeah, single prize decks are cool. It's just a different landscape than it was before Lost Origin, which is cool for sure. Now, yeah, as a multi-prize deck, you got to play healing or some way to combat that. Not my Bidoof, no. So sad. My poor Bidoof. The Sharon's Care should really have an opportunity to shine in this matchup because they don't really hit one-hit KO damage easily. They're definitely going to try and take a couple of 2-hit KOs first. So, yeah. Here we are. A couple of Lunatone. They knock out my Bidoof. with Moon Kinesis, and I'm going up with my Hisuian Zoroark V. Gotta find an energy, of course. We can start with a Trek. Do I want the Quick Ball? Yeah. I can go get Crobat, that's fine. I do need some amount of damage counters on my board, but I guess I got the 2 Gengars, so that's fine. All right. I need to set up another Hisuian Zoroark V, and I need to find one of my double turbo energies. So I think that the highest odds of me finding those are going to be with the research. So I kind of have to go in with the research. That's cool. So let's do that. And I do not find my energy, but I do have 3 trekking shoes and my Phantom Star V-Star power. What do you think? Should I let it rip, guys? Trekking shoes? A damage pump? No. Trekking shoes? A Marnie? No. Trekking shoes? A Marnie? No. And there it is. Beautiful. Cool. So we'll put that guy down. And then I can put the Gape Jaw Bog. Air Balloon on see. We need to pop these 2 guys out. I don't need the pump because I only need to do... Oh, wow. Ha! Yeah, I forgot about the damage reduction. So I do need a pump. That's fine. I'll find a pump right here. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right. All right, so I do need 1 pump. Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. I got your pump right here. Phantom Star. Easy pump every time. Well... All right, I needed the pump. That's okay, though. It's unfortunate. You really don't want to hit a Lunatone for 80 damage. Shame Scoop. Huh. Yeah, we'll Shame Scoop. That's fine. Dang. All right, so I needed to keep the... I was so fixated on finding the energy. Oh, we got it next time. Next time, next game, next game. Keep it pushing, man. We got it going on right here. All right, no more fumbling the football, guys. Nothing but clean, squeaky clean plays from here on out. Understood? Real squeaky clean, flawless. Flawless plays. Arceus. This is the exact matchup that we want to play against with this. Is perfect, really. I can start off with Evolution Incense. Go get my Gengar, and then we'll Ultra Ball away Sharon's Care and Gengar to go get ourselves probably another Hisuian Zoroark. My opponent's got a huge hand. Oh my god, how many times did I mulligan? Holy smokes, dude. Yikes, brother. Cool. We'll do that. And then pass. It's cool. That's a normal amount of mulligans. I ain't even sweating this. There's a whole Leafeon over there. Well, I'm glad that we play our Hawlucha so that we can knock out Leafeon VMAX. That's good. We've got a bit of a pop-off hand next turn. Research certainly seems strong. Or I could Ultra Ball away Research and whatever my top deck is, but I probably won't do that. This is like the idea. I feel like I've been playing against just single prize decks all day with Zoroark, but this is like the ideal world for Zoroark is you're playing against V-Stars because you one-hit KO V-Stars. That's like that's what we're going for here. That's the jam, dude. So we'll see if they have a double turbo in their hand to use turn 1 Trinity Charge, accelerate some energy to their bench guys. Holy moly, a Research. I think I saw Lindsay posts about Arceus Leafeon on Twitter. Something about that. I'm not exactly sure what the deal with the deck is and why it's any good or if it is any good, but I think I did see Lindsay post about it. All right, let's quick ball. We've got Hawlucha. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 5. There's 2 damage pumps and there's 3 bugs. I'm going to leave all my cards in there and just research. Because we find the bog, right? And the evolution incense. So, and we find the energy. So trekking shoes, we find Marnie. Don't want that. Find choice belt, which is fine. Can evolution incense to go get my Zoroark, and I can bench the Dunsparce. Energy to the Zoroark and choice belt here, and then we can industrious incisors for 4, and we do find another Zoroark and trekking shoes. Don't want that. We find another energy. I guess I could have put the choice belt on the active, but I wanted to save it for a potential VMAX. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because I'm doing 1, 8. No, it wouldn't have mattered on the active. Yeah, we would have been short. All right, so we need 1 more Pokemon. So we have to Phantom Star away the energy, which is fine. You only need 3 energy. And then we've got Diancie. And we've got pumps. So we're chilling. I think that we're going to set up another Zoroark. Or the Hawlucha. Yes. Very good. We'll set up the Luchador. And then I'm kind of just vibing out here, doing plenty of damage. So let's just Ticking Curse for the knockouts. And that's what this deck does best. Just draws a lot of cards, takes big one-hit knockouts. It's kind of nice, you know. You're playing against other V-Stars, just hitting big numbers. Now, my choice belt hits the bin, unfortunately, with the Tool Scrapper. So, if I want to hit 320 damage, I'll have to find my other one, which could be tough, considering that I've used my V-Star power and I don't have any draw cards in my hand. There's Galarmine. And I'm getting Marnied. It's fine. Do have Bibarel. Could have been nice to put... well, there's my choice belts. I could have put a damage counter on the active, but I guess I didn't want to, right? Because they're going to damage me. So they're doing 270 damage. Oh, which is just a knockout. Never mind. That actually will do it, won't it? Okay. Grass Knot, 270. That's, that's 270 damage, boys and girls. That is the one hit KO. So now I need to respond. We can trek. We've got the choice belt, which is what we need. Now we need an energy. We've got air balloon. Let's trek. We find Zoroark. I guess I just go for the one hit KO. Yeah, Leafeon with like the Crickettoon's kind of like I did just completely forget about the mine. Yeah. I did. I said we were going to do squeaky clean gameplay. That's you know, it's fine. Squeaky clean starting right now. From this moment forward, okay? We find a research, which is cool. There's still a stadium in the deck. It's fine. Do I care to research? Yeah, research is like pretty good, but I would like to probably reorder my deck. There was a double turbo in there. And what about my Ultra Ball Quick Ball situation? There's plenty of Ultra Balls in the deck, so let's just research. We'll eat it. Okay. Then there are only 12 cards left in the deck. We can go get this. There's damage pumps, there's 2 switches, and there's 1 energy. So I do have to find my 1 energy, which is fine. Quick ball away the Gengar. And I don't have damage pump. And I do not need it. So we want to Ultra Ball. We can get that. There's 2 damage pumps in there. So like we'll probably find one. Bench it. Trek. Yeah. Cool. Now we need to find an energy. So we Industrious Incisors. And we find it. See? And we find the pump. Yeah, you guys are haters, bro. Yeah. Man, I got haters on every planet. Squeaky clean. Like I said. Yeah. What the heck, bro? Easy peasy. Nothing like holding on to your seats. And now we're in there. What can they possibly do? Benching the Zor rather than leaving the space for Gengar gave you some real anxiety. I know, Charles, but like, we needed to thin the deck to find the energy. We weren't doing anything if we didn't find the energy. And we had two of the, I don't know, mathematically, it's like, all right, we had 2. I figured we were going to hit the damage pump. If any piece was missed, it was probably going to be the double turbo. That was my feeling. Maybe that was incorrect, but yeah, I probably should have at least Yeah, who knows? Anyways, we got there, so yeah, don't worry about it. Because then what if I draw into the... Yeah, there's probably some... I did make it so that I needed a... Yeah, we got one more damage pump in the deck. So, we're chilling. See? Oh, thank God there's a damage counter to move. Okay, that's good. GG's. Oh, and we have Gengar. But who cares? Yeah, we got it the hard way. Yeah, well, yeah, I had it this way too. Like I said, squeaky clean. Easy, easy, easy. Just how you... That is just how you write it up. Right there. You draw it up that way. That one's... That was one of the good ones. It was a good game right there. Definitely. Flying Pikachu, great matchup. It's exactly the kind of matchup. This is the kind of matchup that you want to face when you're playing your Zoroark deck. Flying Pikachu right here. Love it, man. Quick ball away a Sharon's Care. We've got a Gape Jaw Bug. That's cool. Put down the Gape Jaw. Zoroark, 20 damage. Choice Belts. Marnie. I really want to move this Halucha out the way. But it looks like I might not be able to do that. But it's fine. This thing's only got 310 hit points, so it doesn't matter. All right, and they scoop. And he scores. And he's on to those fatty dubs. They already know. That matchup's terrible for them. That's right. No misplays that game. That was nuts, right? I mean, honestly. I can't find a single space there where I misplayed. In that last game. Yeah, I was probably on the board for like 45 seconds and I didn't misplay once. It was sick. Now we're playing the... Yeah, now we got them good matchups going on. This is what I'm talking about. I've been waiting for this all my life. Thank God, honestly. I am so sick and tired of playing against the single prize decks with my Zoroark deck. I'm just trying to show off how the Zoroark knocks out Arceus V-Star. That's all I want to show off. Oh, the goo, huh? The goo. The goo. All right, I walk it back. This isn't exactly where we want to be. Huh. That's fine. All right, let it rip. Uh-oh. No! I hate that glitch. That's a glitch. It shouldn't be like that. You should be able to put one. Dang it. But that's not how the game's working right now. That's fine. Quick ball away that. Go get Zoroark. That's fine. quick ball away, switch. Go get another Zoroark. And we're in a good spot. So we will pass. I do not think that I'm going to have to deal with any... Collapse Stadium's not bad. I mean, you just have to counter it with your Gape Jaw. Right? Like, how many decks are playing high amounts of... Like, how many decks are playing high counts of Collapse Stadium? Because you can deal with one Collapse Stadium, you just counter it. Oh, that's not good. 190? That's fine. They can go get Choice Belts and take the knockouts. So, that's kind of annoying. But we take it. And then dealing with the Goodra, yeah, it's a little annoying. Yeah, they got the Choice Belt, they got the Greninja. Okay. So they're taking the first knockout because they went first, which is not great for us. And then they've got Goodra, which can... They're not going to be able to heal themselves with the Goodra, so that's nice. I can still potentially take this knockout. I do need to draw pretty well, though. So we'll go here. We top deck the research, which is nice. So I can Pal Pad and put back in probably the boss and the Sharon's Care is okay. And then Evolution Incense for Zoroark V-Star, and we're moving. I got stuff to do. I got things I need to draw and cards I need to find. We can quick ball away this Gengar and set up another Hisuian Zoroark. We don't have our stadium yet, but I do have Damage Pump, which I can move to here. It's like that one, the glitch is probably going to end up costing me this knockout, because I should have been able to keep a damage counter on that Bidoof. Right? And it literally is. Like, the glitch is costing me, which is incredibly frustrating. Right? Huh. Yeah, like, we have this knockout if not for the glitch. Got 3 damage pumps in the discard pile. That's fine. It's Trekking Shoes. Do we want a Marnie? No. And we don't find the other one. So we just swing for not enough. Yeah, that's frustrating. But it's okay. Just pretend that the glitch isn't there and that I'm doing 280 damage and taking this knockout as we're supposed to. Just pretend. Okay? Oh, if I had, yeah, the damage pump previous. Yes. You're right. Actually, I should have done that. I should have Gengar. Yes, because I already had a Gengar in the discard pile. Yeah, I could have done it. Right. It's true. That's true. Good thought. I was just looking at my board and I was like, I've only got the 1 with the 2, so I can only move 1 damage counter. But if I had popped the Gengar and then used the damage pump. Good thought. Yeah. Could still do this, funny enough. Need to make sure they don't have boss, but... Okay. That's fine. We'll take these. And they've got Goodra now. If they evolve into Goodra V-Star, I need to Sharon's Care. They play Cook. They've got Lumineon. Okay. So they're going to Lumineon for Research. Which is fine. They've got 2 boss in the discard pile. And they need to find the V-Star, or else. Yeah, if they have to just Rolling Shell, that's not great. 30 less damage from attacks. I can do that. They're getting Crobat, so looks like they're still digging, which gives me an opportunity to potentially just win the game with a boss game if they can't boss. Thank you, Focus Fox, for the Prime sub. And they've got Palpad, but do they have... And they're going to put Boss back in the deck. Yeah. And they do have Ultra Ball. Okay. So... they can probably find their Goodra, but I win if I can boss twice. Which is certainly possible. They've got Path, which actually I'm cool with, because that means that they do not have their abilities, which I'm actually more worried about their abilities than I am about my own. So, that's fine. We've got no boss in the deck, but that means that one is prized. Yes, so I could find it and then just go boss game, which would be pretty cool. Now, hopefully that last card in their hand is not a boss. I've only got 11 cards left in my deck. Let's trek. Do we want the switch? Yeah. It doesn't really matter, does it? I guess if I switch and just swing into the Goodra for, you're taking 80 less damage. So, yeah, no, I'm just going for the, it's a 50-50 shot that I can go boss game. Like, swinging into the Goodra twice does kind of win me the game. They don't have another attacker. Like, none. So I guess they win if they have a boss regardless. So I think by swinging, and I have 9 cards left in deck, by swinging with the Zoroark, can I afford to research into my deck? I'm swinging to find the damage pump to put the damage counter over here. All right, we'll put the choice spell here. Well, if I boss, I don't have another boss in my deck. The other one's prize, so it's a 50% chance that I find it, and if I don't find it, I lose. If I research into the deck, whereas if I like retreat and swing, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, I need to find the damage pump, though, if I do that. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4 right now. Yeah, all right, we're going here. I don't think this is right. But we just hit boss here every time, right? Yeah. Do you think they have boss? They do not. And then we go boss game. Like I said. But you see how that was a tough decision. But yeah, so the last card in their hand was a Melanie. So then they could have Hyper Potioned this. And then we just give them the GGs with the 50% rip off the prizes, and that's it. Nice. We'll take it. All right, we got there. I did not have Bibarel in play that game. Right? Oh, GG's, Justice. GG's. I'm not sure about Salt Lake City yet. I still have not used a Sharon's Care yet. Curious. What's the point, buddy? Looks like I'm playing against some sort of Lost Box deck that plays Comfy, probably, and Charizard, and yeah, and Sableye. The reason that Choice Belt is good in this deck is so that you can hit Big Charmed Pokemon V-Star, and so that you can one-hit KO Mew VMAX with an Oricorio, and so that you can one-hit KO Kyurem VMAX, which is starting to become more popular. So it's for all of those. You could play Tool Jammer, but then you would not be able to KO those cards that I just mentioned. So it's kind of like it's a judgment call, if you will. All right, we got the Cramorant, got the Sableye. I see what it is. I see what it do. All right, I see what you got. Cool. Should we just let it... Come on, guys. Come on. Just let me do it. We're going to hit double Gengar. Please. 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 That's cool, man. I didn't need it anyway. We got the Gape Jaw, so neato. We'll put that into play. And then I can Ultra Ball away 2 pumps. Probably don't need that many pumps. Yeah, for a Gengar. And then we can Ultra Ball away these. Oh, and I prized my Crobat. That's cool. It's like a fun thing to prize there, yeah. Okay, it's fine. Oh, yeah, it's a really fun, it's a fun card to not have at a moment like this. Okay, I'm gonna pop the Gengar out. And then I need to quick ball away the pump. Yeah, that's all my pump's gone, but it don't really matter to it. All right, cool. I don't need to do a lot of damage. Put that there, pass. You don't need those pumps, man. Pumps are for chumps. You know what they say. I think that, like, Zoroark should lose to this matchup, like, every time. I don't think that we're probably going to be able to beat this. Zoroark just kind of should lose to the single prize decks. We are a 2-prize deck that only attacks with 2-prizers, and we damage ourselves. Right? Like, we should lose this matchup every single time. I think even with Sharon's Care, like, most single prize decks have a way to just, they can snipe your Gengars, right, with Sableye. They can, yeah, there's a lot of stuff they can do. It's still just not a good matchup. Which is why I was saying that, like, it could be good. It could be good to play the Jolteon in here, right? I still have not used a Sharon's Care yet. I'm telling you that card is trash. You do not need to play that card. Yeah, like, what am I going to do with Sharon's Care? If Sharon's Care wins me this match, I will eat my words, but I do not think that it will. I'll eat my shorts. Man, bro. Instead, I'm going to have to, like, I can't even save the Sharon's Care. Like, I can't. I'm not doing enough damage. Because they got rid of my stadium. So I need to research. Yeah, dude. That's, I'm telling you, it's just not going to work out. Yeah, man, that stinks. Have to, like, pal pad back in the one of Sharon's Care, and then we have to research. Yeah, and it's like, that's just miserable. So then I can put the damage counter onto the Zoroark, which is fine. Okay. And then we can take a knockout. Why not grab a Gengar? There's not, the other Gengar was not in my deck. It's right there. But the issue is that, like, Sharon's Care is just such a situational card. And then you're just fighting a losing war. You're not, like, the single prize deck has so much time, and there was not, again, this list right now only has 2 Gengar in it, which I have found you pretty much only need 2 Gengar. You don't actually need 3. The psychic Pokemon was a Diancie, yes. And now they're going to math me with Sableye. Right? And the Echoing Horn, they can just go 100 damage counters there, 2 damage counters here, and then they do it again. Yeah. You definitely only need 2 Gengar in the list. I think that is something that I'm still... That's something that I'm kind of figuring out. I do think they have the 10 now, which is fine. They can Lost Mine. They're going to take out my Dunsparce. And then eventually they'll be able to one-hit KO me with the Radiant Charizard, and that's just GG's, right? So there's like not really anything you could do. I think like if you want to beat the single prize decks, you just don't play Zoroark. Like Zoroark just ain't the deck to do it, man. It's just not. It's not the deck to beat the single prize decks. And that's okay. It's okay. It's just not what this deck is supposed to do. If you want to beat a single prize deck, you play different decks. You play decks with more like variable game plans, you know? Play decks with Radiant Greninja in them so that you can snipe your opponent's bench. Play decks with Hand Disruption like Roxanne. Just play Palkia. Yeah, if you want to beat the single prize decks, play decks with Inteleon, right? Just play a deck that can just attack with Inteleons, right? It's Zoroark's cool, but like, no, it doesn't beat this, right? Not consistently. And it's not supposed to. Even with the Sharon's cares, it's not really worth it. Flying Pikachu and Zoroark? Nah, probably not. I mean, but you could. But all these decks are playing a million Escape Rope. It's not worth it. The Zoroark deck just does not have a good single prize matchup. Because you have a lot of liabilities on your bench. You have to. It's the nature of the deck. You damage yourself, right? Zoroark is not a Pokemon that lends itself to tanking and healing also, right? That's not what this deck does well. You've only got 270 hit points. Yes, I think that's... Yeah, the Lost Zone box is definitely a serious deck. Attack with Gengar, they can just play around that. Put in a couple Psychic Energy. I mean, you could, but like your opponent can just play around that as well. Anybody who is like hip will just not play into it. Right? And then I just got to sit here and get mathed to death by a Sableye. It's just not worth it, right? So, Zoroark is a deck where it's like, it's a meta call. It's just, it's a meta call. You can build it to be however you want it to be. I don't really like the Sharon's Cares. I don't think that those are worth it. I think that, honestly, it was kind of like cooler playing the Jolteons, but then like, you know, that's a meta call as well. You just have to run into the thing that you want to run into. This is like the straightforward Zoroark list, which I think is like fine. This is probably where you want to start. And then you probably want to start here and then tech for like whatever you're expecting, right? But I don't think that Zoroark has a good single prize matchup. So you probably just, if you want to beat single prize decks, you just play something else. Like either Arceus Inteleon with Sharon's Cares, and Big Charms, or you could play Palkia, then attack with Intellions, right? So, yeah, that's kind of my thought. I like the more aggressive version of Zoroark, but it's not going to beat your single prize decks. So, that's something that's worth thinking about, though. I do think that Palkia and Arceus are still just like two of the best decks in the format. So, like, those are probably just still your format leaders. I do think that you only need 2 Gengar in the deck, and you probably only need 3 Gapejaw Bog. And I did kind of like 3 Research, 3 Marnie. So, and you could get away with a 1/1 Bibarel. So this is like your 56 card skeleton, I would say. You don't necessarily need the Energy Lotto. 55 card skeleton. Right? This probably feels like around where you want to be for 55 cards. And then you can kind of like go from here with the last 5 cards. You can kind of like make it your own. Whatever, wherever you want to go for it. And have fun. But yeah, all right, I gotta go, guys. Still working on Lost Origin stuff. So, excited to dive in more. I know my efforts are extremely divided right now because I've got this other project that I'm working on, so I do apologize for not being able to put as much time into the format and my streams as I'd like to, but I'm almost done. I've got just a week and a half left, and then I am home. Okay, so good luck to everybody playing at the Baltimore Regional Championships this upcoming weekend. I should be back tomorrow morning. But yes, I know that like I'm kind of stretching myself and like kind of running a bit thin right now as far as like my efforts towards everything go. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me, and thank you for understanding. It's like really, really big thing going on right now that I'm excited to eventually share with you. So hopefully that gets to be soon, but we'll see. All right, guys, take it easy and have a good one. I'll be back tomorrow, I think, but I'm not sure because my life is crazy out here, okay? Wherever I am, doing whatever I'm doing. Secret stuff, Let's raid somebody. Let's go watch some live. See you guys.